Oh, dude, Greenway.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
That's how the episode's gonna start.
Bleeding Purple Podcast.
Or we'll do it live.
Straight cash, homie. 48 jerseys out.
Adrian Peterson is loose. Oh my heavens! Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! But why do you even ponder passing? That's gotta work, huh? That's gotta work! How do you like that?
5 shot 3, 1, 2, 3, fire!
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into Bleeding Purple, a podcast about the Minnesota Vikings. My name is Tyler Haig, and I am joined, as always, by Mr. Adam Patrick. What up, buddy?
Not a whole lot in the land of Vikings.
Yeah, no kidding. Going through, well, we exchanged text earlier today, and it was like, what are we going to talk about? And it's like,
No idea.
not sure. Not a lot to discuss. There are some larger bits of news that we can, discuss maybe a little bit later on. I'm assuming one of them will be addressed.
Maybe we can make it a happy ending at the end.
Yeah, there you go. Wow. Very well done. Very, very well done. That was, what are we, minute 19 before we got a joke in already. So that's a good sign.
Well, last night was the Oscars. So.
I'm ready for it. Oh, I cannot stand award shows like that. Like, I have...
Nope.
So I'm one of those guys where, like, I have to watch The Office. Like I can't. Like, it makes me so uncomfortable watching uncomfortable things happen on television. And there's nothing to me more uncomfortable than people getting cut off at a podium while they're still trying to talk and music is getting louder. Like, it eats me up inside. It makes me so uncomfortable.
I just don't like them because I never, ever watch any of those movies. So
Yeah.
I'm always like, oh, thanks for letting me see all these people get awards for movies I'll never watch. So thank you.
That was actually...
Maybe I'll watch Bohemian Rhapsody.
That was exactly what I thought. I was like, oh, yeah, I want to watch it. Black Panther, yeah, I never saw that. I should check that out, too.
I watched, people are probably going to get mad at me, but I watched, 40 minutes of Black Panther, and then I was like, no.
Not into it. Who was it on Twitter? Somebody in Vikings Twitter land, maybe Eric Thompson? I can't remember who it was, but they basically were like, I'm not sure what the hype is on the Marvel stuff. And it was like legit unfollows were happening because of that opinion.
I understand that because there's just so many.
Yeah. And if you don't have a dog in the fight, like if you don't have, I want to see what this looks like on a screen instead of what I'm used to seeing it on comic or what have you, graphic novel, whatever.
It's fine when it's like Spider-Man and X-Men, Iron Man, all by themselves. But when you start mixing them together and just making up stuff, and it's now we're just it's a money grab.
And if I'm being honest with you, that's a huge part of what kind of turns me off from the comic book universe in general, is that there are so many different timelines going on. And I know they've tried to fix it with certain things recently, but so many different timelines. How can I know who's who when Batman can be here by himself fighting the Joker, and then also in space with Superman fighting some doomsday machine? I don't know.
I'm a Batman guy, but I haven't even seen the last I didn't see the last one with Ben Affleck because I'm like, he's not Batman.
Unfortunately, I cannot do Ben Affleck. And here's what's funny is that Val Kilmer had no problem with that when I was young, which now I would be like, oh, God, Val Kilmer is Batman. That's terrible.
George Clooney.
Those were bad movies, man. I like George Clooney, but those were bad movies. Okay, let's talk about the Vikings. This is, after all...
Oh, it's a Vikings podcast.
It is a Vikings podcast. There is minimal news, but there is
quickly,
some stuff to talk about.
Eric said his hot take or whatever because he was quote tweeting someone that was like, "Give me your hottest take ever." I want to share mine.
Yes. What was yours?
Chick-fil-A. Nothing to be, nothing to run home about. Not that great. I mean, I'm not people swear by it. Chick-fil-A is amazing. And I'm just like, I could just go to a real restaurant and get a real chicken sandwich.
You want to know my super hot take? I didn't even write it on Twitter yet because I just was reading and laughing at all of these unfollows and things. Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Just
I said the Beatles.
Yeah, see, that one, I even commented on that one because that is a pretty hot take. I'm not a big Beatles guy. Don't get me wrong. Like I don't like own any Beatles records, but there's at least a part of me that's like, yeah, okay, there were a few tunes that like I like, you know. Led Zeppelin, no thanks. And even the ones I like, they were blues songs by somebody else, and they stole them.
No.
That's there's now we've reached hot take level. Yeah, okay, good. Okay. Vikings news, stuff about the Vikings.
Hey.
Adam Thielen, his agent, went on to a radio show not too terribly long ago and was really candid and gave out all kinds of information that you don't usually hear about agents and clients and things like that. And he essentially said Adam Thielen has earned a raise and their camp is pretty sure they'll find some middle ground and he will get a raise. What do you think? Yeah. Do you think, well, first of all, do you think he earned a raise?
Uh-huh.
I think that one's pretty easy. Me too. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Second of all,
who's well, I guess there's people out there that are arguing like he should take a hometown discount if he wants to win, and
these are my favorite people are the ones who are like, he's already under contract, he signed a contract, so he better play that out. And it's like
so we should ask those people, why not? So you should probably take a discount for your company so that they can do more things with their money, right?
That's my favorite.
You're not going to do that.
Let's say that you, at your job, all of a sudden were responsible for way more of what your company does. You would want compensation for that, would you not? No, sorry, bud. You signed a contract.
Yeah.
You better play that contract out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that frustrates me. And boy, oh boy, Adam, are we in the like middle of the dead zone. It's just rampant speculation. I'm like
grasping at straws.
I'm kind of getting excited for the combine because it's just going to be something else. Finally, something else that we can discuss that isn't all this stuff. So Adam Thielen probably has earned a raise. Yeah. Do you think he's going to get a raise this offseason? Do you think that they are going to let him play this out? Do you think he is a holdout at some point?
No, he's not. He's not going to hold out.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think his agent said that he would never recommend any of his clients hold out because they asked him about the Antonio Brown situation. He was like, yeah, he's not doing that right.
Dude, honestly, that whole interview is absolutely incredible to hear him say what he would be doing. Man, I was totally impressed by it.
His name's Blake Barrett.
I'm so glad you remembered it because I did not.
I've heard interviews with him in the past because they've talked to him before on Score North. But yeah, I think he'll get an extension. It's probably going to be within like the $15 to $18 million a year range.
Mm-hmm.
And if people don't like that, it's too bad. But the salary cap's going to go up again, so it won't really be that big of a deal.
Exactly.
But he's a priority. He's a priority to lock down probably for the rest of his career. You don't want him to, go to a New England or go to the Rams or something like that.
I get just you saying that out loud makes me angry and like sad all at the same time.
It does help that he's a Minnesota guy, so he probably wants to stay home and he won't be fighting for the highest amount of money he can get. Just money that he feels like he deserves. So. Mm-hmm. Something similar to what Stefon Diggs got last year, but probably a little bit higher.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would agree with that. Yeah, I think they'll figure it out. There's no way he's going to be a holdout. Yeah. I mean, although if there were ever a time where a player deserves to not report because his contract is not what he's worth, it's this dude right now. He's so crazily outperformed what he was getting paid on his contract that he has every right to hold out. He's not going to, but...
Yeah, but I think he also knows, looking back at past off seasons and seeing his teammates get rewarded from the Vikings, like Harrison Smith and Linval Joseph, Xavier Rhodes, Everson Griffin, all those guys getting rewarded. Mm-hmm. I think most of them had 2 years left on their deals when they signed them. So
always seems to be the year before everybody else wants them to do.
The year before or year before their contract ends or 2 years before is usually when the Vikings like to give their guys deals. I believe Stephon Diggs and Kendricks and Danielle Hunter all had 1 year left on their deal. And then they were like, Anthony Barr? Nope.
Not you. Sorry.
That proved to be a good decision.
I mean, jury's still out. We'll talk about that in a second. Next bit of news, and I don't know why, Adam, but I'm like weirdly, strangely attached to this player. Hercules Mataafa has been cleared for football activities. Undrafted free agent. Allegedly. Undrafted free agent, brought in, tore his ACL, right? Before the season last year. Obviously, weren't sure if he was going to make the team at all. But this dude, he basically didn't get drafted because he just was too small to play the position that he played in college. So he didn't really have a spot. So they didn't really know what to do with him.
Like a beast,
total beast. He is. I was more excited about him than I was Holton Hill. Holton Hill worked out really well, and I'm very happy that was the way that went. I was more excited about this dude. Do you think? I mean, what are you? If we're throwing, let's guess percentage-wise. What do you think the chances this dude makes the team this next season?
There's a good chance he makes the team next year, especially with Sheldon Richardson. Mm-hmm. Probably not coming back.
Yeah, it's still so early. There's so many different things. Like by the time the season starts, we could be singing a totally different
but
tune,
I think practice squad would probably be good for him, just coming off the ACL. Be able to learn the defense. He can learn it from home and stuff in the playbook, but it's way different when you're on the field. Definitely. The good news is that he probably was able to build up a lot of strength in his upper body since he couldn't use his lower body as much. So that's good for, a defensive lineman.
Yep, he needed that. He was undersized, that's for sure.
But no, I think he's got a good shot, just as much as anybody else on that team. What do they have? Jaleel Johnson, Jalen Holmes. Tom Johnson's a free agent. Sheldon Richardson's a free agent.
Yeah, I can't imagine Tom Johnson coming back after what he got.
They'll probably draft somebody, a defensive tackle, within the first couple of rounds, maybe the first round.
For sure.
So, no, I think he has a good chance. I think the Vikings liked him. I might be mistaken, but I think he might have been given like one of their highest undrafted free agent contracts.
I think you are correct. And it also says so much to me that he got hurt, was like borderline to make the team in the first place. Yeah, and they kept him and let him hang out at the facility this whole time and do his thing. And so that, I think, speaks volumes as to how they feel he can perform once he's healthy.
It'd be interesting to see how they use him, too, because he still is undersized for an NFL defensive tackle, but so was John Randall when
sure was.
He came in the league. So.
Worked out okay for him.
He did pretty well.
Yeah, you did okay. Speaking, you were talking about maybe filling that spot, D tackle with draft pick. Vikings now have more of those thanks to these compensatory picks that they were awarded. My God, it's thrilling stuff, Adam, but I feel like it's a 7th rounder, 5th rounder. Is that what they were?
1, 6, 2, 7.
Oh, God, even better. Thrilling stuff. We know that Rick Spielman likes his draft picks. Do they use these picks to move up somewhere? This is...
Well, he's got 8. He's got 8 now, so ideally he would like to have 2 more. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know if maybe this year, because they have not as much cap room, and even if they clear some stuff, they still probably won't have a lot. If he is more aggressive in the draft and he does use some of his extra picks to maybe move up and get more picks in the first couple of rounds, then, just hang around and just take what he has.
That was a pretty successful system that he kind of cooked up a couple years in a row where he was getting multiple picks in the first rounds. These players
were good to get a lot of young players.
Yeah, man, and these players were playing pretty well, except for the guy who hurt his knee. And that's a separate story. But you could go, everybody. Yeah, there were a lot of decent picks that happened in those spots, and those are players that can come in and I don't want to say perform, but can contribute in a decent way. 7th rounders, do we really expect them to make the team? And even then, contribute? Probably not, but hopefully they can use it.
There's been a couple. Jaron Curse.
It's true. It's true.
Mar Stephan. I think David Morgan was a 6th-round pick.
Can't get enough of David Morgan.
I think John Sullivan was a 6th-round pick. They've had some success. But yeah, it's like shooting fish in a barrel pretty much, getting those 7th-round picks. But him trading up, like, they've had a lot of success with undrafted free agents recently, so I think that might, play a factor into, not using those late-round picks too.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Was, do you see them maybe
it's not really
using
a whole
this
lot different.
Yeah, exactly. Using this to move up to get players who won't be available for the undrafted.
There really isn't a whole
free
lot of
agents.
difference between 5th-rounders and 7th-rounders.
There's not. We can. I'm excited for us to get into draft stuff because I feel like it's easy to get lost in the world of 40 times and hand sizes and wingspans and in catch radii. I don't know what's the correct plural for radius is.
Some workout warriors.
Yeah, dude. So, like, I am excited to kind of dig through all of that and then get back to what we're actually talking about, which is, can they make this football team better? Does this fill a need on this team? Because there are a lot of them, and they don't have enough, I guess, capital, not enough draft picks, not enough money to bring free agents in to fill all of these holes that they have. So this is going to be a really important offseason, like, from a transaction standpoint. And their moves are going to be so limited based on what kind of money they have based on the moves that they make, like the Everson Griffins, the Kyle Rudolphs.
I will dive into that in my closing parting words or whatever.
Excellent. I'm excited about it. Draft season's here, man. Well, let's do this. Let me ask you this. Draft season, combine, it's this week. Are you at all interested? Will you be watching? Are you going to be paying attention to it a little bit? I mean, all of the above because you have to, but...
I have to. I mean, I always do. It's one of those, it's more background noise to me.
Yes.
Like to put it on and do some work while it's on in the background, and you're like, oh, that dude ran a 4.340.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, the most sports writery thing you can do is be doing stuff around your house while the combine is on, and you keep poking back and forth, checking in.
I know a lot of people that do like serious fantasy football that watch the combine too, because a lot of people have dynasty leagues, so they have to they actually draft rookies. So they're paying attention to this stuff too.
I gotta get in one of those dynasty leagues, man.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That'd be so fun.
I don't want to get that serious about fantasy football.
Yeah, I'd just be the Browns for like a decade.
Yeah.
Kicked me out.
No, yeah, I watch it. I like the coverage. I like the people who cover it. I like Rich Eisen and Mike Mayock's not going to be on it this year
because he'll be there.
He's going to be working. He's going to be working for a team this year. Yeah. I'm also interested in, Mike Zimmer, his press conference. Mm-hmm. If people are going to ask him, has he looked into trading for Antonio Brown? All that fun stuff. Is Kirk Cousins the answer? Are you going to bring Case Keenum back? All that stuff that people have been wondering this offseason.
What do you think the chances are that we get angry Zimmer towards that question? / sub-question, do you think there's a chance that he does...
someone's going to actually ask that?
I think somebody will ask something stupid, and he either is going to get very upset, or every now and then Zimmer does the thing where he accidentally tells the truth, like where somebody catches him.
A certain reporter from the Pioneer Press is going to ask him that?
I hope so. I hope that there's a fight.
If he's shown anything in the past, and he's just going to give a nice short answer of, no.
No, haven't. No, thank you.
So, no, it'll be good. He's had some time. I've seen some Instagram feeds of him chilling in Hawaii and stuff, so he's had time to relax. Not that he probably relaxed too much.
I was going to say that he seems like the kind of dude that has, like, game film playing in his hotel room.
Oh.
Even though he's at the beach.
He did watch, I did see his daughter posted that he was watching Bad Moms on the plane, so he was not watching football for at least 20 minutes.
That's good, man, because probably should pump the brakes every now and then and chill out. Do you
Yeah.
remember when he said
So-
he'd rather not have his eye in like the coaching versus eye
Yeah.
situation?
And people want to fire him.
I still am just kind of surprised by that. Yeah, man. I think you
surprised.
nailed it with the combine, though. I love the coverage, guys. I think Rich Eisen's wonderful. I think they make. Don't get me wrong; it's a terribly boring event, but they do a
They
pretty
figure
good
out
job
something.
of keeping it kind of entertaining for those of us who will kind of just be watching anyways. So
What position group maybe are you most interested in?
I mean, I personally,
I guess like receivers and running backs are always the most interesting.
Exactly. I always want to see the 40s, but I'm always a quarterback guy because I used to play quarterback, so I always am watching those drills and seeing how guys, like, what their release looks like.
Kyler Murray's going to be one of those guys who's just going to be like, I'm here, but I'm not doing anything.
No, I heard he's throwing.
He is?
Yeah,
I
dude.
thought he wasn't going to do it.
I don't know. I guess that I heard him talking on the radio today, and I was surprised by it too because it sounded like it was just, he's going to do this and it's going to be great.
He's apparently like 205 pounds now too.
Oh, is he? Is he 5'8" still or 5'9"? How? It's amazing.
Yeah, he
this
didn't
time of
grow.
year
He
how-
didn't grow taller.
Yeah.
He didn't grow taller.
Always getting shorter. It's incredible. It's funny to me too that even though he has announced that he wants to play football and is like going into the draft, people still are like, nah, he's not gonna play football. Like, he's probably just gonna go play baseball. It's just funny to me.
I mean, you always have to have that worry though in the back of your mind because of how close he was to playing baseball.
In the
And
millions of dollars that they're dangling.
Yeah, what was
at
he
him right now.
drafted in the first? I think it was a first round pick in baseball.
I think he's gonna have to give his like millions and millions of signing dollars.
Speaking of which, sidebar: Manny Machado can't come into the Padres.
All of
right.
a sudden, Adam, all of a sudden, you go from losing your team, and I'm like, oh, man, I feel bad for him. I mean, the weather's nice, so I don't feel that bad for him. Now, Manny Machado, you got a brand new football team. You got, what else do you need, pal? Like,
Got the
save some
beach.
for you got the beach. You got, I don't know. What do you think of Manny Machado? Do you are you excited about this? Is there a buzz about the city for
I
it?
don't care. It's baseball.
That's America's past.
They haven't been in the playoffs in like 15 years. So.
Yeah, they've been bad for a long time. Tony Gwynn,
I mean,
though.
if he won,
Tony Gwynn.
it's a good city to get paid a lot of money in though.
Are they going to go back to those awesome old like brown uniforms they used
Going
to
to
wear?
Brown, yeah.
Are they? Oh, that is like the best news.
Brown and yellow.
Yeah, they're
I don't like
awesome.
brown. It's
Oh
color.
man, I get that. I totally get it. But those uniforms are the bomb. They'll probably try and like make them all like nice and
Modern.
new looking. Yeah, modern. No thanks. Not interested. Throwback. Enough Padre talk. Although I do
Maybe they might get Bryce Harper too.
No, don't do that. You can't have both of them. You can't have both. A little bit of kicker news. You know how much I like to talk about kickers. Cody Parkey has been released.
Ugh.
I'm not interested in this one, Adam. I don't want him to be our kicker at all. But there is a connection there. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maloof, right? Is that his name? Maloof?
Marwan
Maloof?
Maloof.
Maloof. Maloof.
We'll get it one day.
Yeah. Getting closer. I got Maloof written down, so like I had half of it anyways.
Yeah. He was the assistant special teams coach for the Dolphins in 2017. He was last year too, but when Cody Parkey was there, and that happened to be Cody Parkey's best year of his career. He missed like
Interesting.
2 or 3 kicks, but also Cody Parkey's like a career 83% kicker. So
Career not very good kicker.
that was
Also,
Hey, guess what?
SEC.
Let's piss off a lot of Vikings fans. That was his Case Keenum season.
Oh, people aren't going to like that, Adam. No, you're right though, and this happens a lot to players who aren't superstars. Is the one pop-up year and then come back, regress to the normal, like whatever. This happens a lot in sports, and it's not. Okay, yeah, it's kind of
There's no pressure.
So
on him
you're kind of pushing buttons when you call it a Case Keenum thing, but that as a thing that happens all the time. That's not abnormal in professional sports leagues for that to happen. People need to remember this stuff, man. That was maybe a little out of
Yeah,
line by you.
yeah. There's a connection there. But no.
No thanks. I just no. Please no.
I would draft a kicker before signing him.
Why do you what are you doing saying draft a kicker?
I'm just saying before
This close to the draft, dude? Come on.
Before I would sign Cody Parkey, I would draft a kicker.
That's reckless.
I'd rather do that.
Yeah. Cody
Sign an
Parkey.
undrafted free agent.
Yeah, he's not the dude. There has to be somebody else that we can get.
Especially the Vikings just saw him twice last year, kicking the NFC North, and they know what he can do. They know what he can't do.
Don't bring him here. Please, God, don't
like-
bring him here.
It's like asking for heartbreak.
It really is. It is. And there are times where this team will do that, Adam.
We gotta.
Nothing could go wrong, right?
They're gonna be like 7-0, and then all of a sudden, in like the NFC Championship, doink.
If we bring Randy Moss back, it'll save the season.
Yeah.
Speaking of other players who have been released, who may be coming to Minnesota, real quick.
Kai Forbath got released last week too, so he's available.
Ooh. That's actually.
But no.
Let's focus on that for a little bit. Do you think Kai Forbath is a realistic possibility? That's not the way I want to go. He did make that kick against New Orleans.
I don't think Mike Zimmer liked him.
I don't think so either. How could you like a guy that wears pants that are that short with no socks?
Yeah, he did dress like Michael Jackson.
You can't trust guys like that.
But he was a kicker, so...
Yeah, that's also... You can't trust a kicker anyway, so what does it matter?
Whatever. I think he's from California.
I mean, that's no excuse. You gotta wear socks, bro. Especially in California. Your feet are getting hot and sweaty. That's gross. What? With shoes?
I don't wear socks on my Vans. No.
Oh.
I don't have time for that.
Bro. Oh, okay. We're gonna.
My wife does. She wears like those no-shows.
Yeah, the no-show ones. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have a conversation about this. So your feet are just like smelly all the time? Do they get super sweaty and gross?
No, they don't.
Just some ether?
I don't sweat like a lot.
Okay.
Like at all.
So maybe your feet are okay. I don't know. We'll talk about that. Is a conversation that we are having after this show. Then we're gonna discuss that.
I mean, do anyone's shoes smell good?
Well, no, but when and maybe it's different because Minnesota humidity and like my body is like gets used to -40, and then when summer shows up, my feet get all sweaty. I don't know what the deal is, but when I try and wear no socks with my shoes, it is a horrible scenario. It's bad for everybody.
I also, I go to the beach, so I don't really want to wear socks to the beach.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I'll give you that. That is usually when I do it. No socks in the shoes to the beach. That one I will. Yeah. That is okay. Okay, that one makes sense.
All those times that you go to the beach.
Yeah. Hey, we have 10,000 lakes, pal. There's a lot of coast. Did you know that we have more coastline than the state of California, Adam? Do you know that? Because we have so many lakes. That's a little factoid for you.
Sure.
More shoreline than you, pal. More shoreline than you. Captain Munnerlyn was released recently. Do you think that he will return to Minnesota? I was trying to wrap my brain around this. He was not a Zimmer guy, is he? He just was here for a little while Zimmer was here, but he's not like a Newman guy who's followed him or anything like that, right? Because he was in Carolina all those years, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He
came the same year that Zimmer did. So I don't know if Zimmer had like a hand, and he probably had a little part in bringing him in. Mm-hmm. I don't think he comes back.
He's super old and not very good anymore.
He'll be 31 in like a couple of weeks. He's not super old.
He's only 31. Are you kidding me? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
My bad. I thought he was older than that. I thought he was like elder statesman, which I guess 31 is.
No,
but
they could probably get him for cheap, but I really don't know. They already have enough like corners. They don't need.
No, that's incorrect. You can never have enough. We've learned this from Mike Zimmer.
That's true. So maybe they could invite him for training camp. It depends. Mm-hmm. What other? I don't expect him to get a ton of offers from other teams. I mean, he knows the system, obviously.
You know what I'm kind of noticing here is there are a lot of similarities to the moves that they're making now and trying to kind of replicate the formula that they had been successful with previously. One of the things that's missing right now from that previous formula, older dude as a cornerback who knows how things works and can get the young guys to be where they're supposed to be. Newman was that guy. Now he's out. But maybe he comes back and fills that position.
Was Captain Munnerlyn also the guy behind that remember the mutiny or whatever?
No, that was Newman, man.
That was Newman.
That was Newman. I know.
Well, I know. He talked about it, but I didn't know if Captain Marlin.
Oh, I think that was Newman was the guy who went rogue. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it was Newman.
I thought it was him, Marlin, Newman, and Rhodes. I thought they were all part of that.
They all went rogue. That could very well be, but I know Newman was one of the ones involved in that. Or I know
he's the one. Yeah, he's the one who spilled the beans or whatever. But I think I remember Marlin being like, "You can ask him about that." I don't know.
I don't know what he's talking about. That would change it because I probably wouldn't be so psyched on having a player who didn't want to listen to me coming back on my football team. So yeah, from that angle, kind of could understand him not wanting to.
And also where do you put him? I don't know. He's a nickel corner, but they have Mackenzie Alexander. Mike Hughes can play in the slot. Mm-hmm. They got their 2 outside guys.
And we're
not sure if Marcus Sherrills is coming back. He's going to take a roster spot as a corner.
Yeah, and we can't keep doing this to the vets, bringing them in on the veteran minimum, and they're assuming that they're going to play, and then they never see the field. Because those guys get mad, and eventually they're going to start talking about how they don't like it. And they've gotten lucky over the last...
George Iloka?
Mm-hmm. And
I don't know. He wasn't very vocal.
No, he was not vocal about it, which was a blessing. Because that team was falling apart anyways, but he had every right to be upset. Got brought in for basically no money and then literally never saw the field. Why? I don't know.
Oh, Anthony Harris was pretty good.
He was. I don't disagree with that. But yeah, maybe there just isn't a spot for Marlin on this defense at this point. Or at least not. He would not be.
Not yet.
Yeah, not worth it to bring in.
Unless they decide, Trey Waynes, we don't need you. You're going to cost too much. So maybe.
Speaking of Trey Waynes and maybe guys who, I guess he's not really going to re-sign because he's on his rookie, whatever, 5th-year option. Of the guys who can leave, who do you think is going to re-sign here? I'm thinking Bars. I'm thinking.
Yeah. I have the whole list in front of me if you want to go over it.
Do you? Yeah, dude. Let's do that. Perfect.
We can do a yes or no for each of us if they're going to re-sign or not.
Awesome idea.
Yeah, pen and paper that you never
right here.
Remember?
Yep.
All right. So first we got Sheldon Richardson. I'm going to go with no. They will not re-sign him.
I am also going to go no. I think he's going to get offered decent money from somebody, big money that the Vikings won't be able to.
Yes. And he would be dumb to not take that.
Mm. And that was the whole plan to begin with. That was why he signed the 1-year deal. That was the whole idea was for him to play better, get a big contract somewhere else.
You can look at a team like the Browns who have a ton of cap space. They can go after a guy like him.
Mm-hmm.
Latavius Murray.
My heart says yes. But my brain says no. I don't think he will be back because I think they're going to fill that spot with Rock Thomas or Boone or somebody else.
More the Vikings' choice, not his.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know because he's not going to be expensive. He'll be $2 million probably to re-sign.
Mm-hmm.
And there aren't a whole lot of veteran running backs out there.
No,
so I'll say yes.
You're gonna say. I was gonna say. Have you seen the list of? It's C.J. Anderson and Ajayi coming off of an ACL. Blunt. Yeah, LeGarrette Blount. It is not a star-studded group available in the.
I think Latavius Murray is one of the best available. So I think they'll bring him back.
And I would love for them to bring him back because he does everything that you need from a guy like that. He pass protects.
It takes a little while to get going, but yeah.
I just think he's done a great job. Maybe not as good as McKinnon would have done, but that's a separate conversation. Okay, who's next?
Anthony Barr.
I'm going to go no here. I don't think he'll be back.
Yeah.
This has got to be
I don't understand the people that are still no, we should resign him. Why?
Do you feel like
he's going to want a lot? He's going to want a lot of money.
Yeah,
and he's not worth it.
This
Like,
to
not
me
to the,
is very similar to the Antonio Brown argument, where you can make a lot of kind of meh reasons for why he should be here.
Four Pro Bowls.
But then there's the one big reason that he shouldn't, and it's because he's going to be too expensive.
He
might be
doesn't.
kind of a headache.
He's not consistent. Like,
No.
he can have like a great game against the Miami Dolphins, and then poop the bed against the Bears.
He's one of those players who absolutely disappears on this defense, where you'll go 3-4 weeks and forget he's even playing, like forget he's even on the field. But then he's also the kind of guy who can go 2 weeks and be the best player on the field both weeks.
I don't know. I feel like something happened though, like injury wise, that no one ever knows, because he wears a brace on his wrist, and he's been wearing that for like the past 2 or 3 years. But he didn't wear that his first couple of years.
Yeah,
When
he
the Vikings,
wore his
and
best
when he was a beast. Yeah, when you see plays like him running, was it the Falcons game where he chased down that running back and popped a fumble out from behind him? That's the kind of stuff that the Vikings drafted him for, and
100%.
I haven't seen that in a very long time.
And you know what I'm starting to wonder about now? When last year during training camp, and they were kind of lining him up and letting him do drills with the D linemen.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, he's got to be a pass rusher.
Do you think that was him asking them to turn him into that, and then being like, all right, we'll let you get a couple of reps and then move on?
I do, actually.
Yeah, man. And because now he's like, well, I'm ready for pass rusher winning. It's like,
yeah. He's probably like, I'm on a contract here. His agent's probably like, yo, you should try and get some more pass rushing snaps.
Yeah.
And then that didn't work because the Vikings defense was horrible the first couple weeks of the season. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but
that I don't know. But it seems that I remember being intrigued by that, and now that we're here, I'm starting to think that was just them like appeasing his agent and be like, we're gonna run him like this for some drills, but we're not gonna our starting linebacker is not gonna be a defensive end.
Probably
all
like
of a sudden,
Mike Zimmer's probably like, I mean, if he misses linebacker drills, it's okay.
Was he, correct me if I'm wrong, but he was a defensive, he's like linebacker 3-4 when he was in college, right? Like an edge rusher when he was at UCLA?
I believe so. Because he had like 20-something sacks in college.
And I remember the idea being they're drafting him this high because he's going to be able to be an amazing linebacker, and this is how he's going to do it, blah, blah, blah. As opposed to...
Yeah, like he's going to be like a Von Miller kind of guy.
Yeah, edge rusher dude. Yeah.
And they don't have the right defense for him to do that. So
No.
I don't understand why they ever thought that was going to be the case.
That kind of was the point I was like... kind of meandering towards was this maybe not that he was a bust, but was like, is that one of the worst picks?
Just not the right fit, and no. I don't know if it has to do with because the Vikings, I feel like they switched their base defense to mostly nickel, kind of midway through his time with the Vikings, so that might contribute to him, not being successful as a pass rusher because him and Eric Kendricks were the only two linebackers on the field, so they have to either
had to do all the other stuff,
cover a running back or a tight end, and one of them can't be free to rush the passer. So.
Yeah, man, what an interesting turn the Anthony Barr thing is taken.
But he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, there's no way he's back next year. Where do you think
he franchise tagging him or anything like that?
Who do you think
he might?
Man. I don't even know what a guy like that would command on the market. Like, what do you pay a guy who doesn't have a position, who doesn't want to be a linebacker but wants to get paid, but wants to get paid like a defensive end but is not a defensive?
He made like $12 million last year, so he's probably going to want like at least 14 or 15 per year in his new deal.
That's crazy. So. Just crazy. Somebody will give it to him.
Yeah, the Raiders have a lot of cap space. I think the Rams can afford him, so he'll probably go out west. That's where he's from. So. Bye. Do you think the Vikings don't go to the Packers?
Yeah,
please.
I think he could be.
Yes, he could. But let's not let him know that.
Yeah, let's keep it on the deal.
He might be listening.
Yeah, that's right. We know that people high up listen to this.
Next, Brett Jones. Do you even remember who he is?
Nope. Oh yeah, he's the
center that
offensive
they traded
lineman,
for.
right? The center that they had that played
they-
really well.
Played really well.
Yeah, really well while Elflein was
No,
there.
they not really.
Was that in the preseason, right?
It was in the first couple games of the season, and they were like, "Please, Pat Elflein, hurry." Yeah, I don't know. They might resign him. He's not going to be expensive.
I feel like I remember being more excited about his performance than what you are alluding to. But that would make more sense because I remember being excited that Elflein was coming back. But I also remember being excited because Brett Jones, Mike Jones, that felt like a fun thing that we would get to do repeatedly.
Actually, you know what? I'm not. I'm going to say no with that.
Okay. You're probably right. I'm going to say yes
That was
because I feel like he played better, but I think I'm thinking of a different offensive lineman that they cut before the season. So just kidding. That's a no for me as well. What did you say on it?
Nick?
Oh, yeah, you said no on Anthony Barr. Sorry. Okay, just continue.
Nick Easton.
Nick Easton. I would really like them to bring him back. I think he is... They had a stretch where they were bringing in offensive linemen that could do all kinds of different offensive lineman positions, and he was one of them, and it was good and helped them a lot, I think, in their offensive line. I don't want to say stability, but in their performance when guys would get injured. I would like more of those guys to be present. So I would like to have him back.
I think they'll bring him back because of his versatility, his familiarity with the team. Not, they're going to be, they have a different offensive line coach, but the scheme that they're going to run, more zone blocking and stuff with guys moving around and stuff, they're going to need a guy like Easton. The only thing I worry about is his injury because I think he had some disc stuff going on.
Oh, it was the
his
back
neck.
thing. That's the back
Neck, I think, actually. So that's kind of something to worry about with a offensive lineman.
Yes, it is.
So I actually wouldn't be surprised if they re-signed him and then, he might be a training camp cut. If they don't think that he's going to work out. Because it might be like Rick Spielman vouches for him, and then he goes through camp in the preseason, and the new guys are like, "Nah, we don't want it."
It ain't gonna work.
So
All right, who's next?
next, I believe, is Dan Bailey.
Dan Bailey.
Does Dan Bailey want to come back?
That's probably a better question than whether or not the Vikings want him to return.
Does he want to be on a team with Mike Zimmer?
I would assume no. I think no. Also, if not because of Dan Bailey not wanting to be here, I also think that the new special teams coordinator is going to want to bring in somebody that he is at least kind of familiar with, or has a better opinion of than a guy he has no opinion of. I don't know.
Hopefully not. Cody Parkey.
God, please not Cody Parkey. Poor Cody Parkey. Guy's not even here, and we're just destroying him already.
I'm gonna say yes. I think he's gonna bring him. I think he's gonna resign. I think him having not that great of a season makes him a little more affordable, actually. So.
Yeah, I heard a rumor that he at one point was the second most accurate kicker in the history of the NFL.
Yes,
Didn't
not
really,
anymore.
Yeah, didn't look like that. Well, here. I guess that wouldn't be the end of the world if Dan Bailey came back. I got another season of meh with him before I start hating him.
I mean, they can get Janikowski this year, so it might be,
Don't jinx it.
tempted to
Don't
do that.
jinx it. Don't jinx it.
Is there Seabass in Minnesota?
No, I don't think so.
Ice sea bass?
Yeah, there are no seas here. It's just lakes.
Yeah.
They're just regular
Ice
bass. I would love... Here's what's going to happen, though, Adam, is they're going to sign Sebastian Janikowski, and he's going to be the worst kicker that we've ever seen. He's just going to, fall off the... totally be...
We're gonna
incapable of making a kick.
They're gonna be the team that gets him in his last season.
100%, and I'm gonna rejoice. I will party when they sign him. If they sign him, when they sign him,
and then I'll laugh in your face when he plays horribly.
God, I hate knowing that. I hate knowing now that that's going to happen, and he's going to.
All right, next on
be
the
terrible.
list.
Yeah, who's next?
Marcus Sherrills.
Ooh.
On the roster bubble again.
This guy?
Every year.
What is this makes is this a decade? Yeah, I was gonna say, are we at a baker's dozen here?
I believe 2011 he joined the Vikings.
That's
11 or 12.
absolutely incredible that he's been able to keep that job for that long. What is your prediction? You go first.
I'm gonna say no. because they have a new special teams coach. Sherrills had to play cornerback a little bit last year, and I remember him not doing that great.
Did not go well.
So, if the Vikings want a punt returner, they're probably going to want someone who is also, able to play another position well, like a Mike Hughes or Holton Hill or Eldrick Robinson or something like that.
That was I don't know if where he's at,
and he might go.
But
He might go to Cleveland.
Hughes is the dude.
Prefer out there, his buddy.
God, just saying that, following Prefer to Cleveland, could
Sherrills,
you that's as bad as it gets.
They're like the two most similar guys, right?
It actually sounds like a fun sitcom. Sherrills and Prefer, the odd couple. They just work really well together. I don't know. Yeah. I'm done betting against Marcus Sherrills. I've said no probably 6 of the 8 years, and I'm just not doing it anymore. So I say yes. I think he is going to be on the team. I think he
is the cockroach.
Yep, he definitely is. Well, it's like the same as it's like death, taxes. Marcus Sherrill plays for the team, and the Patriots are probably going to be in the Super Bowl. That's all I know, Adam. That's all I know.
I wouldn't be surprised if they got him. The Patriots got him, and we're like, "Oh, this guy's great. He can play corner really well."
Another probably accurate statement. Just for the record, 2 R's, 2 L's, 2 E's. How do you spell his last name?
Marcus Sherrills?
Yeah.
1 R, 1 L.
1 R, 1 L. But 2
You're a
E's.
Minnesota guy. Shouldn't you know this?
Yeah, dude, I just am not a last name guy. I'm not.
Does it really matter? Does it really matter if you spell it right? Like people are going to see this.
I was trying to be accurate for the notebook. You're right. Literally, nobody is going to see this. My girlfriend won't care. And my 3-year-old.
Amir Abdullah. Could be interesting because he's got kick return skills.
He does. And I was going to say, had I said no to Sherrills, I probably would be saying yes to this guy. But if his only job, as it was last season, is to stand there while touchbacks happen behind him, or, I just don't see
Was he that good? Yeah, he wasn't really, amazing as a kick returner, was he?
He didn't do anything. So I'm going to say no.
Yeah, we can say no.
Probably a safe bet.
Especially if they re-sign Latavius Murray. They don't need to add him. Tom Johnson.
Real quick on Amir Abdullah. Did so little running back work. You said Latavius Murray, and I was confused by that for a second because I kind of forgot that he was also a running back. That was all he did was return kicks. Okay, continue. Well, who was the next one?
Tom Johnson.
I'm going to guess no because I'm sure he could get more playing time and a better deal elsewhere because they brought him in and he just didn't do much, didn't play a lot. What do you think?
I think he'll come back. I think Mike Zimmer likes him. He's been good for the Vikings as a reserve, like a situational kind of guy. So,
How old is Tom Johnson? Sebastian Thunderbucket. Oh, God. Also, how have we mentioned him several times and not called him Sebastian Thunderbucket?
I don't know. He is 29. Oh, no, that's Tom Compton. Sorry.
Give it all away,
34.
34. Yeah. Yep,
yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to stick with my no there.
If they re-sign him, it's going to be like a 1-year deal.
For sure. I would like to have him, though, because I do like him as a player, and I think when he's playing well, he can be really disruptive and does good things. But I don't know how much of that he's got left.
Tom Compton. former roommate of Kirk Cousins.
I was just you beat me to it. I'm going to say yes, and I hate it because I don't want him to come back, but I feel like he is going to come back for that very reason because he's Kirk Cousins'
no,
buddy.
He's my best friend.
Totally, just keep him on the team. I don't know why he talks like that, but that's how I imagine.
Well,
you leave my rocks on my porch. I take one out every day.
That's what he sounds like when he tweets. That's why everyone makes fun of him.
Totally. Wants to win a giveaway.
That's
so awful.
I'm going to say no.
Okay. I don't think he deserves to come back, but
he, to be fair to him, he was not brought in last year to be a starter, and Nick Easton got hurt.
I'm so happy you said that, Adam, because we do this a lot as Vikings fans. We rip guys apart for Clemmings, as TJ Clemmings comes to mind. That was not his fault. He was never supposed to be in there. That poor kid.
Yeah, but by the third year, you should know how to play.
It's not his fault. That was
so he's
going to
just
fault.
Be a reserve and not play for his whole life?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Never put him in.
George Iloka.
George Iloka. What is your guess?
That's a nope, because he can probably start somewhere else.
Yeah. I would be
maybe not, but
I would be absolutely shocked if he was back on the team next year after what he went through this past year. I think
there was some subtle comments this year where I'm pretty good, so I don't know why I'm not playing.
Mm-hmm. No, he was definitely frustrated that he was not.
But I mean,
not seeing the field, and it also sounded like not that he was promised, but they were like, "Hey, man, you get up to snuff, and you're in." And then
that was before Anthony Harris, was playing really, really well.
It's true.
Kind of can't, take him out when he's doing pretty well, just to be like, this guy's more experienced. So
sorry, I had to throw my pen at my dog.
Hey, that's all right. But now, there goes that sponsorship from PETA. But whatever.
What are you going to do? Did you see their Steve Irwin thing? That's a separate conversation, too.
Yeah, I also saw Britt McHenry's tweet yesterday about people cheering for Jim Boeheim. I was like, maybe don't have an account.
Jeez, we don't need to get into it right now. We don't need to get into it right now.
Eldrick Robinson.
Eldrick Robinson. I just threw my pen, so I can't write him down anymore.
It's okay. What did you say for Iloka? You said no, right?
I said no. I think you nailed it. I think he can play, but I don't think he's going to spend any more time than in Minnesota. I think Eldrick Robinson was good for what he was. I think he would be a perfect number 4. Wouldn't need to see him very much. Seems to be good at catching touchdowns when he gets in there, so that seems ideal for that position. But him as a number 3, I just don't think that's happening. So it wouldn't. Yeah, I guess it wouldn't surprise me if he went elsewhere because of what
he said he wants to come back.
Really? That'd be cool. I'd be into that. I was, I don't know if impressed is the right word, but I liked what he did.
All he did was catch touchdowns.
Yeah, how can you hate it? Didn't drop the ball, which is important as a wide receiver.
He definitely did.
Did he? I only remember Laquan Treadwell drops.
Yeah, because those weren't, Treadwell made sure that they were in, important games.
When it really affected us in a negative way.
Anthony Harris. I think this is a no-brainer.
I think this has to be a yes.
I don't know how expensive it'll be, though. Because of the season he just had, but at the same time, the Vikings could be like, well, you just had, one good season, so we're not going to give you a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
They could probably get, $5 or $6 million a year.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see if anybody not outbids but if somebody gives more than what the Vikings are willing to give, because that to me is kind of that's feasible. And if they lose him, then where are they at with the? Then they're drafting somebody for sure. Who else can step in? Well, I guess Mackenzie Alexander, J-Ron Kearse.
Mackenzie Alexander?
No, not Mackenzie Alexander.
He can barely play corner. No, he did all right last
year. Yeah, he was okay. I would be fine with either of those, but I just feel like we spent so long waiting for that spot to open up with Sendejo, who I'm sure is he next on the list?
He's not a free agent.
Oh, they're just going to cut him straight up. Yeah, you're totally right. You're totally
Yeah,
right. My bad.
I think he's due to make like $5 million, and it won't cost anything to cut him.
Totally. I knew that.
Anthony Harris is 27. So,
man, that's tough. I'm going to say no for him because I think that somebody else is going to want him more than the Vikings.
Well, hopefully, the hope is that like people didn't notice that he played well. Hopefully, the Vikings just because he didn't make like a huge play.
No, he didn't, and that's true. And what was
solid,
solid, and and maybe this is just because we're watching all of these games, but he kind of was a breath of fresh air in that position from Sendejo, because Sendejo was
a headhunter.
Yeah, and like is a liability from that standpoint. Whereas I'm like almost assuming he's going to get penalized when he flies in there to drop those hits. And it was interesting and fun to see a guy play that position and not play it that way.
Yeah, well, Harrison Smith sort of plays it that way, but he's able to control himself.
He does, yes. It's different. It's a more controlled chaos when Harrison Smith.
Discipline.
Yeah, there you go. Discipline. That's a good coaching word. Good coach word, Adam.
This is gonna be a tough one too. Trevor Siemian.
Oh man, that's tough. I don't care, but Coobs is in the building.
Oh
so
yeah,
I bet Coobs maybe. I bet that leans in
the whole
Simeon's
Broncos
direction.
like trio or quadruple blitz or
Tebow. We could get him, dude. We could get him. Tebow could be on this squad.
That's enough. That's enough of that. We're not going to
get the band
back.
We're not
become that kind of show. We're not going to become that kind of show. Just put an end to that right now.
I will stop this podcast. Yeah, not Tim Tebow. Okay, fine. But yeah, I don't think Simeon. Yeah, he won't be. That's true. I don't think he should be back. I think you can get the same thing from somebody else.
Would you rather have? Obviously, I think Slaughter. You'd rather have him as the backup, right?
I'd rather have Slaughter than Simeon, but to be perfectly honest with you, I just don't care either way. Yeah, they both are.
Kirk Cousins is pretty terrible, so like, I feel like backup for him isn't important. But for the Vikings, it still should be because
it has to be. Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Can you get more manila envelope than Trevor Siemian, Slaughter, and Kirk Cousins in your quarterback room? Like, good God.
Slaughter's pretty fun.
Is he?
It's pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, you're right. He is much better than the other two.
Is it what is it?
Slaughter? I think it's Slaughter. Because if it was Slaughter, we would just be calling him like Sergeant Slaughter.
I would like to see them keep Slaughter and maybe draft somebody in the last couple of rounds just to mess with people.
Got me. The Slaughter got me there.
Sergeant Slaughter?
No, we just discussed how to pronounce it, and then you called him Slaughter. Maybe it was good. It got me. I'm sorry. I lost my focus there. I'm sorry.
Next we have one of your favorites, Matt Weil.
Matt Weil. He deserves a spot because he didn't suck. But you know who else deserved a spot?
He didn't suck as a punter. He sucked as a holder.
Quigley deserved a spot. Get Matt Weil out of here.
I'm not to make you a shirt that just says Team Quigley or something.
Yeah, I should. Oh my God, we've been going for 58 minutes. How many more? How much more is
Four
there?
more.
Four more. Okay. Let's blast through these because you still got a thing. You got your closing statement. I got a little closing thing yet. So don't forget.
You're supposed to have nothing to talk about.
I know, and here we are, 58 minutes. We're going to be like running out of time. WTF?
Rashad Hill. I'm going to go with no.
I'm going to go with no as well. He probably will come back because I think they really like him because he seemed to get most of the nods early on when it was kind of up in the air. They always seem to go back to him. So, I don't know. I feel like they like him. I would not
I'm thinking
mind
of
him
they have
either way.
Avion Collins coming back. Probably draft somebody.
I totally forgot about Avion Collins. So, you might be right. Or do you think he will be back? Yeah, no. No, okay.
CJ Ham.
Hurts me to say this, but I say no. I like him as a player.
Really?
I like him as a player, but that's just as a
even with Kubiak's coming in.
Oh yeah, good call. That changes it, doesn't it?
I like him. I think he does good things, and I don't think they used him enough last year, and that's probably because John DeFilippo.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's good to have in there with even with Latavius Murray back there.
Totally, man. The Kubiak thing changes everything. I'm so excited about what their running game can look like. And, yeah, CJ Ham.
Have you ever been so excited about a running game?
I mean, yeah, because we had that Adrian Peterson guy for a little while, so he was pretty good for a minute there. But, yeah, not since then, honestly. And, yeah, I'm excited for a team, I don't know. I just feel like this team is better suited to run that
I kind of
play.
Switched my opinion on him. So,
did you? Yay? Nay? Coming back? Not coming back?
On Adrian Peterson, I mean, I switched my opinion.
Yeah. CJ Ham, one of us. I would like to see him back, but I don't think he's going to be back.
All right. There's two more guys that don't really matter. They're tight ends. Okay. Cedric Lang, I don't even know who that is. And Josiah Price. I'm just going to go with no for each of those guys.
I will also go with no for both of those guys because I'm not sure who either are.
So that's it. There's not a lot of yeses.
No. What do we have? You had yes to Murray, yes to Easton, yes to Bailey, yes to Tom Johnson. I had yes to Easton, yes to Sherrills, yes to Tom Compton. Yeah. Not because I wanted to, because I think he's buddies and he's going to come back. Yeah. Okay, so closing statement. What is your? What do you got for us, my friend?
It's kind of the vibe that we just got from talking about all those free agents. That I wouldn't be shocked if this offseason is not very eventful for the Vikings. Mm-hmm. They don't have a whole lot of money. The money that they are going to free up is probably going to be to give Adam Thielen an extension.
Yep.
They already have a lot of talent on their roster.
They do.
Pretty much everywhere except the offensive line. So I just don't. All these people, wanting these big free agent signings or trades or even draft picks, trade up in the draft. I just don't think it's going to be that very eventful this offseason, just because I think they still have a lot of pieces that work for them, like what they wanted to do last year. A lot of those guys are returning this year, supposedly.
Definitely.
So I don't think it's going to be as exciting as some people are hoping, and people are going to probably be disappointed and being like, oh, they didn't spend any money in free agency or whatever. And it's like, well, they don't really have a lot to do that, and they need money for rookies and to sign guys like Anthony Harris. Those are going to be their big signings, like Anthony Harris and Nick Easton.
You're totally right. I completely agree with you. It's going to be totally uneventful. The best players they're going to get are guys that are already on their squad. And then on top of that, the fans are so on the edge about everything that it's like every move is going to be met with not enough or not the right move, or because people are so locked into, because they're
unless they sign 5 offensive linemen.
That's what I was just going to say. Hot take. They might not pick an offensive lineman at 18, and the world's not going to end. The sun is still going to come up the next morning, and they still are going to be a pretty good football team after that happens, even if they don't take an offensive lineman in the first round. I think that's a good way to go. I like your closing statement. It's good to get people. I feel like part of, not like our job, but I feel like it's important when off-season and speculation is rampant for us to be like, whoa, now, guys, here, calm down. It's going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. We don't have to fight about Antonio Brown. We can have opinions. We can move on. It's cool, man. It's no big deal. Even if they don't take an offensive lineman in the first round, it's going to be fine.
So silly. Why was that even a thing?
It was heavy, though, man. There were, shots were fired about it. It got crazy.
He's a lot of Matthew Collins.
I'm not blaming him, but he definitely had a part of it. I'm thinking about, I'm going to make maybe a video later today about how it's okay. Antonio Brown is okay. You can think that he doesn't need to come here, and I can think that, depending on the price, he could totally come here. It's totally okay. We're gonna be friends either way. It's fine. I think we need to unite Vikings Twitter, Adam. I think that's our job. Do you think we can do it?
Not right now. Not until they get like 10 offensive linemen.
Yeah, we're a long ways away from uniting Vikings.
And Case Keenum comes back, and Adrian Peterson comes back,
and Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
And then a statue. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do. Well, Skull, we'll talk to you next week. And go Vikes.
Go.
Skull. Later, bub.